used to have this job where I planted trees. I've planted 7,176 trees in my lifetime. Thank you. It was my...
What's your favorite tree of this?
Well, I would say a tulip tree because that's the Indiana state tree. It's a beautiful one, but man, live oaks are hard to beat. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So. But this was my job. This is what I did for a living. And I really liked it, but it was very, very hard work. These were very large trees. These were not saplings. And we did everything. We had no heavy machinery at all. We did everything with shovels, spades, and pickaxes. My boss used to say that he needed people with strong backs and weak minds. Sadly, I qualified for that. But I would have a helper who would come out with me and help me plant trees, and people would get these high-minded ideas about planting trees for a living and how cool it must be. So they would come out, and it would be way harder than anything they anticipated, and it paid terrible. So they just wouldn't come back the next day, and I don't really blame them at all. It wasn't for everybody. But I came in one day, and there was a new guy. He was sitting there. He had a book in his back pocket, real quiet guy. Somebody told me he just graduated college, and he had a degree in English literature. And I thought, well, at least the conversations will be good. So I said, why don't you come with me, buddy? And we went out, and we had one of the hardest days that I'd ever had in the 10 years that I worked there. We had to plant quite a few very large trees, and the ground was extremely hard. It was like trying to dig a hole in this floor here. So all day long we're slamming down spades hard as we can, just trying to break loose a little something. We're slamming down pickaxes, just trying to chip away little pieces of earth. And about halfway through the day I looked over and I see his hands. He's got these big blisters all over his hands, and they'd broken open and they were bleeding. And he never complained. He never said a word. He just kept working. And I thought, man, this guy's tough. And I thought, I really like this guy. And then I thought, there's no way in hell he's coming back again tomorrow. So I said, hey, man, let's take a break. And we went over and we sat down and started talking. I said, I just want you to know that I've enjoyed your company today. I enjoy working with you. And it's not always this hard. And if you promise to come back again tomorrow, I'll do everything I can to make it a little bit easier. And he came back the next day, and he kept coming back. And he ended up working with me for a few years and became one of my best friends. I later found out that he had to keep coming back because he was supporting his mother at the time. That tells you what kind of guy we're talking about here. But when we had days like that we just did not want to be there, we made this pact between us that whatever money we made on that particular day, we would set it aside and we would go do something fun with it so that we would know our labor had value. So while we're digging holes and throwing trees in the ground, we're talking about going to places like Prague, Munich, out to the western part of the United States to hang out with hobos, go down to New Orleans and see what kind of trouble we can find. We probably even talked about going to strange and wonderful places like Newport. But like I said, we did most of these trips, and he was one of my best friends and one of my favorite travel partners. But he passed away on his 30th birthday. And it's one of those things that you don't really get past. You just keep moving forward the best you can. So if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to do a song for him. I remember 2 weeks in Nova Scotia, how we walked on the beach almost every day, with a boat full of sand on our way to nowhere, never knowing what would wash up out of sea. You find a starfish lying in the sand, you picked it up and held it in your hand so gently as the tide washed away. I was thinking about songs in faraway places, When I remembered the words I forgot to say, I was thinking about the Lord above. And why do the good die young? And why do the worst of those among us never fail? I tried to believe that there's something more to this world besides keeping score, but frankly, I'm losing faith, as all my friends pass away. I remember October in the Bay of Fundy, trying to sleep on a boat as we crossed the sea. Night air was cold but full of healing. Now dear, won't you lay your hands on me? There was moonlight reflected off the wave silhouettes of whales, taking a leap into midnight and my salt splattered face. I was thinking about songs in faraway places, when I remembered the words I forgot to say. I was thinking about the Lord above. And why do the good die young? And why do the worst of those among us never fail? I tried to believe that there's something more to this world besides keeping score, but frankly, I'm losing faith, as all my friends pass away. And I remember the fog of Massachusetts, on the morning we stood on Kerouac's grave. I was thinking about the Lord above. And why do the good die young? And why do the worst of those among us never fail? I tried to believe that there's something more to this world besides keeping score, but frankly, I'm losing faith, as all my friends pass away.